What is going on, everyone, today, and welcome to WreckTalk. A little bit late, like 2 days late, getting this video out. Needed to let my voice recover a little bit. Obviously, there's a big upset we're going to need to talk about in this week's Power Rankings. I yelled for, 4 hours straight, rushed the field, all that. We're going to get into it. But, man, what a week of college football, especially for the bad guy, baby. Let's go. All right. Here's last week's rankings. Obviously going to be some major changes to this ranking. We had Miami first, SMU 2, Clemson 3, Pitt 4. I imagine all those are going to change. The whole top half of this list is going to change. Either way, that's what we had last week. We'll go ahead and reset it. First game, Friday night, Cal at Wake Forest. Now, I didn't get to watch this game. Let me go ahead and turn my phone ringer thing off here. Cal wins 46-36. Surprising to me that Wake put up 36 points on Cal. Cal has a pretty dang good defense. That might not be the best news for the U, right? They've got Wake and Syracuse to finish the season, but that brings Cal to 5-4, hunting a bowl berth. Wake Forest, I don't know how many games they have to play. They have 3 games left, so they've got to win 2 of the next 3 to make a bowl. North Carolina, at Miami, Duke at home. So they're going to have to get 2 upset wins there to get to a bowl. But Cal 1-4 in the ACC. Probably feel like they should have beat Miami. I don't know how that feels, obviously. But anyways, Wake is what are we going to name the Dooodo tier here? We're going to call this Miami's third down. Oh, well, not just third/4th down offense. That'll be this week's Dooodo tier. We'll talk about why as we move on here, but both Cal and Wake are bad teams. Geez, we'll just put them there for now and switch it up as we go. We're going to save Miami, Georgia Tech for last for obvious reasons. Florida State at Notre Dame. Florida State got absolutely dog-walked up and down the field, was not even able to score an offensive touchdown, 52-3. The Irish put it on. Boy, Florida State don't have no luck with Irish, do they? Playing in Ireland, playing Notre Dame, who has leprechauns trotting around, throwing gold at people, Rudy, offsides, all that. Florida State's awful. Florida State just fired their coordinator, I think their offensive and defensive coordinator. Now, if you didn't know, the NCAA temporarily fired their offensive coordinator for the first 3 games because Florida State's a bunch of dirty cheaters, if you didn't know that. They now have the opposite of Miami's record. Miami 9-1, Florida State 1-9. What else can you say about Florida State? Again, that a diarrhea session with your toilet after Taco Bell hadn't already said they'd fire Mike Norvell right now if they could, but his buyout's like 50, 60 million. They're going to have to go pray to some, Middle Eastern king to try and get some money to pay the rest of their staff out. You know, before the season, they thought they needed money to get to that national title that they're hunting. Turns out they need money to pay all the shit-ass coaches that they have on their staff, like Mike Norvell. Florida State's the worst team in the ACC. It's not even close. They're the worst Power 4 team in the country, even over Purdue, IMO, as the kids say. Notre Dame, not an ACC team, so we're not going to rank them. Man, Riley Leonard didn't even have a good game. He was 14-27, 215 yards and a touchdown. And Florida State might be like, well, Notre Dame beat you pretty good. Yeah, they didn't beat us 52-3, and neither did you. This is how down Florida State is. They're tweeting that they lost to my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets by a smaller margin than Miami did. Can't get more down than that, can you? Next game, Virginia at Pitt. Pitt, what are you doing, Pitt? Pitt ends up fumbling this game away. 24-19, Virginia gets a win on the road. Pitt was undefeated, lost their last 2 games. And I think that's got to make Pitt an average team now. 7-2, 3-2 in your conference. Losing to Virginia at home is the definition of average. Now Virginia is a below average team. They're 5-4, 3-3 in the ACC. They're better than Cal and Wake Forest. You got to say, man. The ACC, man, is just burying themselves. SMU, they've got to clinch if they win this week an ACC title berth, don't they, with the Miami loss? Man. Pitt down bad, though. Clemson at Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia Tech is not a bad team. That Clemson does get the win. Clemson with 2 losses, 1 to Georgia at the beginning of the year, and that loss doesn't look near as bad. With we play them to end the year. We only got 1 game till my Jackets get to Georgia, and they get to play one Carson Beck, also known as Timma. But yeah, Virginia Tech playing a lot better ball. They don't get the win there, though. Offensively, they've got some issues. Obviously, at this point in the season, we can definitively say who is a contender. Just mathematically, Clemson would be one of them. Only the 1 ACC loss. Virginia Tech, I know their record is 5-5. I do think they're an average team with how they're playing at the moment. But damn it, how do you let Syracuse last week come back on you like they did? They might even go down here. I think they're average. I think they're average. Next game, Syracuse at Boston College. Fran Brown is the most immature baby diaper shitting coach that I have ever seen. Every week, Fran Brown has to find something else to get his feelings hurt about, to get up in his feelings about, to tell you his feelings got hurt about. It started with Brent Key. You know, they were on staff for like 4 months together 30 years ago. Brent Key said, I didn't invite you over to my house to eat dinner, so I took that offensively. Then Virginia Tech kicker kicks while their band is still on the field. I'm from Jersey, baby. I take offense to that. What's the latest thing that I even forget. There's a latest thing that he's now taken offense to that's completely ridiculous. And I hope the worst for Syracuse now. It has nothing to do with Syracuse. Fran Brown's an absolute clown. He's a joke. He has to find some kind of gimmick emotionally or in his feelings to win games. Absolute embarrassment. 3rd ACC loss to Boston College, 37-31. And Boston College is not a good team at all. Syracuse is now the definition of average, if not below average. Boston College is a below average team, though. They're a bad team. I tell you, I guess if Fran Brown can't find anything to get offended about, he just loses. Interesting. Him and, as Touchdown Tim says, Honda McCord. Duke at NC State. Duke gets the win over NC State. NC State falls to 5-5 on the year. Who does NC State have to beat to make a bowl? They've got to beat Georgia Tech or North Carolina. I don't think they're beating Georgia Tech. That's a Thursday night game at Bobby Dodd in Atlanta and on the road at North Carolina. North Carolina's playing better. Could be that NC State doesn't make a bowl. I know that'd make my friend Pigskin Pete happy. Duke, 7-3. What a year for first-year coach, or not first year at Duke, not first-year coach Manny Diaz. I did not. Did anyone have them going 7-3 that isn't a Duke fan? Anybody? They have a really good defense. I'm a little bit partial to Duke. I'm going to put them above Syracuse. They got more wins than them. They got the same ACC record. Duke right in the middle of the pack now. Duke right in the middle of the pack. Oh, we didn't put NC State. NC State, they're bad. Maybe they're slightly better than Wake. We'll go ahead and place the teams that didn't play that aren't Georgia Tech. Louisville. What is Louisville's record now? Louisville 2024 record. Football. A lot of teams on a bye this week, too. They're 6-3. Yeah, I think we can put them here. I think they're playing better. They'll go right behind Pitt. Then SMU, they're a contender. North Carolina, oh man, they're somewhere in the battle. Are they fighting for a bowl? Is North Carolina fighting for a bowl? They're battling for the middle of the crappiest team right now. They are 5-4, so I think that's a good spot for them. Who does North Carolina have to finish out the year? They've got 3 games. They've got Wake, Boston College, NC State. They got to win one of those. North Carolina's probably going bowling. Stanford's absolutely awful. The thing is, they got more wins than Florida State does, which is sad, seeing as how they only have 2 wins. And finally, what you've all been waiting for, baby, why my voice is hoarse, why I'm exhausted, and why I'm so dang happy. Miami falls to Georgia Tech. 28-23. Georgia Tech holds Miami to 23 points. The least number of points they had scored beforehand was 36 to Florida State. Now, there was some warning signs that this was going to happen, right? All year, there are warning signs that their defense was extraordinarily suspect. And look, Georgia Tech books up 21 points. Haynes King can't throw beyond the line of scrimmage, and then we have to put a true freshman quarterback in Aaron Philo in. Now, if you didn't know, though, Aaron Philo holds the Georgia State record for most passing yards ever, taking it from one Trevor Lawrence. Clemson fans might know about him. And Trevor Lawrence started 4 years. Aaron Philo only started 3 because Brock Vandagriff, who went to Georgia, now at Kentucky, started above him his freshman year. Obviously, they're still in the hunt. I think they're number 2. But what a win for Georgia Tech. What a statement win for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech now 6-4, bowl eligible, with 2 games left on their schedule. They could end up with 7 wins on a pretty tough schedule. And Georgia's offense is awful right now. They got Timmy playing quarterback. Georgia Tech could end the year. I'm not saying it'll happen, and I actually am going to say now I don't think it will. It would be very Georgia Tech to lose NC State and beat Georgia. They could end up with 8 wins. I think Georgia Tech is right in the middle of the pack here of the average teams. I do not think Miami is a national title contender now after what Georgia Tech did to them. Miami was like, 3 of 10 on 3rd downs, 1 of 4 on 4th downs. Miami got out-coached. Miami got outplayed with inferior talent. Just Georgia Tech didn't even have to throw for 100 yards, but we ran for 271. We just out-toughed them. We just flat out-toughed them. I couldn't be happier. We ripped the goalpost down, take it around Bobby Dodd Stadium, took it to president of the school, Cabrera's pool, threw it in. Everyone jumped in. Go watch Sea Dog's video. People are jumping in on the balcony. And it's not a fluke. Last year, you could write that off. It's just a fluke. Maybe he was down, maybe he wasn't. Wasn't the case this year. Superhero Cam Ward got brought down to earth. He tried to do too much. Instead of just taking off, he's danced around the pocket, strip sack, ball game. It is what it is. And I've got some videos planned for this week. There's one Miami fan in particular I'm going to make a special little project out of because he's a baby back bitch, just like his mama raised him to be. His daddy probably wasn't never there, but I'm going to teach him the lesson that his daddy probably should have. Let's look at these rankings. SMU 1, what world are we living in? First year in the SEC, first in the ACC, without a single ACC loss. They're not likely to lose one. Miami at 2, Clemson at 3, Pitt 4, Louisville 5, Virginia Tech 6, Georgia Tech 7, Duke 8, Syracuse 9, Virginia Tech 10, Boston College 11, Cal 12, UNC 13, NC State 14, Wake 15, and in the Miami third and fourth down offense Dooodo tier, 16 and 17 going to the Tree and Big Dookie, Florida State. You guys have a good one. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. Where am I right? Where am I wrong?